Arsenal fans, I am so sorry, but you are not going to win the Premier League this season, and it's not even going to be your fault. And in fact, it's going to be Manchester City's, because whether or not you like to hear this now or later, they are inevitable, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do about it. I think it's about time that someone finally came out and said it. I'm sick and tired of us all touching ourselves to the narrative of master versus apprentice, Pep Guardiola being the architect of his own downfall, which he likes to make a little bit of a habit out of.
The lineup was one of the worst tactical decisions in the history of Champions League final football. Simple as that.
And Arsenal and Arteta finally reaching the promised land. I can appreciate the storyline, but it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that will kill you and will only ever lead you to second place. This isn't a prediction, it's a spoiler. Look, we all saw what happened at the weekend. The left back kicked the ginger and he ended up on the floor. For a second, it felt like the good old days, but this isn't the good old days. This is hell, as Haaland lashed in his 18th goal of the season and rescued 3 points at the Etihad from a Fulham side that at least deserves something from the game. It left the pressure on Arsenal's shoulders, which might become a running theme during this season, and it meant that Arsenal had to go to Stamford Bridge and get a result against Chelsea, which is difficult for any team to do, despite Chelsea's quite obvious problems, like making sure their two best fullbacks have working legs. It was another challenge for Arteta, and to be honest, he and his team passed it with flying colours, meaning that they went top of the table with 1 game week to go before the World Cup. So surely they're title contenders, right? See, I'm a Liverpool fan, as you can tell by the lack of Scouse accent and the ability to make everything about me, and we've had a very special relationship with Manchester City, i.e. being their little bitch, as they dangle the Premier League title under our noses every single season before snatching it away and spitting in our cornflakes. One team has stopped Pep Guardiola's men from winning the league during their 4 seasons of success, and it's happened once. And even then, it was done in one of the most dominant seasons we've seen from a squad of players in recent times. I'm not joking you, at one point it was 27 games, 26 wins and 1 draw. That isn't normal. So it's not a slight on Arsenal to say that I don't think that they can do that, because you can still be great and not do that. But the point is, that is the level you're up against. The season before that, 97 points and 1 loss, and that wasn't enough to win the league. Last season, 92 points, 2 losses, and that still wasn't enough to win the league. Arsenal are playing some of their best football that they've played in 2 decades, with pretty much no weakness, with the exception to the occasional tactical naivety, as we saw versus Manchester United. All of this is coming together, and I promise you, it won't be enough. Now, there is one difference, and that difference is that Arteta is a student of the school of Pep Guardiola, where Guardiola is the head teacher of that school, and he teaches every single lesson. And if there is one person right now that can replicate the ruthlessness of Man City and adopt the obsession of winning, it is Mikel Arteta. Arsenal this season decided to go left when everyone else was going right. Liverpool signed Nunez, Chelsea signed Aubameyang, and City decided to sign what would happen if Alfie Haaland and God himself decided to stop using birth control. It seems as though, apart from Arsenal, the English game is moving back to the importance of a central, strong number 9, the big man up top. But instead, Arteta has opted for Manchester City's forgotten man, Jesus, who's slotted into a fluid front 3, which are part of a variation of the 4-3-3, which has worked and won titles for Manchester City. Now, is this a sign that Arteta is one step behind the current wave of football, or is it a tactical evolution from the likes of Klopp and Guardiola that have tried to fix something that was never broken, leaving a gap for Arsenal to dominate at the top using what has always worked? Well, so far it's working, and it's working extremely well. Arsenal have had their best start to a league campaign ever, and they're showing no signs of stopping. It's a young, but more importantly, a desperately hungry team, because Arteta now teaches the lessons and he refuses to be a dinner lady. The team now has the belief in itself that it can reach the very pinnacle of domestic success in England, and not for 1 second will I doubt the quality of Arsenal. I think they've proved us all wrong. But the thing is, you're up against a monster, a machine, winning ugly, and that's just Haaland. The bottom line is, I think Arsenal are great, but I just think Manchester City are inevitable.